Hi, I'm Craig. Film enjoy living in England, and I was full of regrets when Dave told me I had to do this bit first because I got nothing. I was still trying to think of something, and then he made me go first, and I just ran out of time. So I got nothing to say to you guys. I love you though.
I'm Tyler Hosley, and I have nothing to say either, but I'm a stripper movie enthusiast from Florida.
He's a very
I'm-
enthusiastic.
I'm Kevin Matthews, Scottish film fan living in England, and the only thing I will say this week is, although Dave covers these things in edits, he's very good at. I like to play a little game with myself that is betting on how many times I accidentally close the Discord tab while we're recording the podcast, and then have to sneak back in like some late night drunken husband trying not to wake his wife. So we'll do that again this week. Guys, I'm saying it will happen about 3 times. Place your bets.
Dave's definitely your wife.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's the angry, scowling one who corrects my opinions and then takes care of all the tech issues.
I don't know how to follow up that. I'm Dave Gray, and this week I learned that every 24 months Tyler does something that doesn't hurt me, and this is Raiders of the Podcast.
Yay!
Yay!
So
Well, that was.
I don't know what that was either. I continued on my bad movie marathon. And let's see what I watched. Harold and the Purple Crayon, which wow, I hated that. I need somebody to explain to me Zachary Levi. No, right now, explain to me Zachary Levi's career.
I wish I knew.
Because the man is just atrocious. Like the
He
dude
was just on a
has
conveyor belt to like right wing mouthpiece. He just came out and went straight there. He didn't fuck around.
Like, dude has no charisma and no charm, and like I liked Chuck fine, that old McG TV show he was on where everybody kind of carried him. And he was fine and Tangled where everybody kind of carried him. But holy shit, is he insufferable in everything else. And Harold and the Purple Crayon is just bad. There is like I just don't know why. I don't know why. Like, how did this get made? How did multiple people go like, yeah, that's okay. That seems fine. And how much did they give the estate of Crockett Johnson, sorry. Because it was not enough. It just was not enough.
He's somehow like a worse John Krasinski. He's like a less talented, less charismatic John Krasinski.
Which
if
is
you can
funny
imagine
because
such a thing.
I'm going to follow that up with Fountain of Youth.
Well, why
The
would
John
you do that?
Krasinski movie. Just how it turned out.
That's what I would send to you in a secret Satan pick.
It's just how it turned out, okay?
Wow.
And yeah, Fountain of Youth just really sucks. There's like nothing good. Librarian Jones and the Born Code Mummy, and it just doesn't do any of it well. And on top of all of that, you're stuck with John Krasinski, who is just trash. That man, he's like Zachary Levi for TV. And
I always found it funny that people saying he's got to be Reed Richards in Fantastic Four, and Reed Richards is the smartest man in the known universe, and John Krasinski just reeks of being a bit stupid.
Well, the thing is, he's the most basic white man in the room, and that's what people want from their superhero movies. The folks that are like, John Krasinski has to be Reed Richards. That's what they wanted. And then they got it, and nobody saw that fucking Doctor Strange movie. So obviously Pedro Pascal was the right call. Pedro Pascal is always the better call.
Oh yeah.
Like let's just not even beat around that bush. Yeah, like I filled my quota of talentless white guys in 4 hours. I can end this year without watching another talentless white guy run across a screen. And then Craig made me watch Action USA, and I got to watch Stranger Things this next week. So that hope was killed immediately. And then I ended it with Spike Lee's latest remake, Highest to Lowest, and I did not care for it. I love Spike Lee. I love oh crap, what's his Wright? Jeffrey Wright. I love Denzel Washington. I think they are three incredible talents, and that movie was just kind of crap. Read the book, really liked the book. Love the Kurosawa film. There's another version of it. I'm brain farting on who's in it, and that's better than this. It's just not well done. The secondary cast is like atrocious. Some of the acting in that movie is just, I'm assuming it's a stylistic choice, but it hurts. And then the soundtrack is just, I don't understand any of the choices made in it. And maybe, maybe it's not for me. Maybe that's what it is. Like maybe it's just so far out of my wheelhouse that I could not possibly expect to understand it. But it's just not good. And it's a shame because there are moments that I think really work. Right scenes work. Denzel Washington scenes work. There's a bit at when the event is finally found in the apartment that's really good. And I was like, oh, maybe the second act is going to really turn that corner, and it did not. It's just so disappointing. And I adore the work of Spike Lee, but for me, when it comes to remakes, the dude is 0 for 3, and I'd really appreciate it if he'd stop remaking movies I love. Please. That's me.
I am getting full-on Christmassiness, as I'm sure you all expected. So, well, I'll get the worst one out of the way, and it's not even really full-on Christmassy. So I watched The Family Plan 2, because of course I did. That's why we watched The Family Plan the other week. Now, I said to you before, we enjoyed The Family Plan. It was pretty good, even though it was a Mark Wahlberg film. There was a bit of a sort of ensemble feel that allowed other people to bear the burden of carrying a Mark Wahlberg film. And The Family Plan 2 decides to take the family on a trip, as they do. It is Christmas time. They do go to their old London town, and it's not good. Like, and I don't mean this to sound patronizing, but sometimes we will watch films that we know we're not expecting to be great. But if it's just a decent, evening in, it's not something we would have rushed to the cinema to see. But if we've kind of enjoyed it enough, we've had a takeaway or just a comfortable evening in, enjoying something that you might view at any other time as crap, then that's a success for us. But at the end of the Family Plan 2, I did turn to Vicky and I was like, yeah, so I think it was a bit rubbish. And she turned straight back to me and she was like, yeah, that was crap. That's us just aiming for unsophisticated, enjoyable fare. So yeah, not good. And Kit Harington is in there as a main character, and continues to be not good. Has he done anything else good after Game of Thrones?
He has an episode of Criminal. Is it Criminal? No, whatever that one is where they're in the interview room, the British one.
Yeah, but he's bad in it. He was atrocious in that episode. He was awful.
He was really good. Really
good. You are on so much crack right now, man.
Really good. Really liked it. Really liked him.
Right, okay. That's the one thing. All I remember is he did Pompeii, and I don't think I can remember him in anything else. So
You didn't see the sequel to Silent Hill? He was bad in that too.
What, the old one? Wait, how long ago was that? Was that after
Yeah,
Game of Thrones or before?
During.
Yeah, it was during
I can't recall.
2012,
Anyway,
maybe 2011.
that doesn't count.
Yeah, something
That's
like
not
that.
post
Yeah.
Game of Thrones world. Before I get into full on Christmas, actually, I'll also mention that I watched Baby Teeth, which is a 2019 film, and
And hear
it's
Tyler salivating.
yeah. I don't know. Maybe like on paper you would think so, and on paper you would think this is everything you've seen before. So there's a young woman who is affected by an illness that you're going to find out in the film. She meets a young guy who's a drug dealer, wants to rob, wants to sort of bounce through life. In quotation marks, you'd say he's from the wrong side of the tracks. Anyway, she likes him. She takes him home, and her parents are very accommodating because they're very precious about what time she has. Her father is a psychiatrist. That's Ben Mendelsohn. So he's great. And her mother's a musician, and she's played by Essie Davis. And Essie Davis is great in this. The main girl is Eliza Scanlon. She's just fantastic as well, and I can't remember the guy's name, but he's really good. Anyway, so you've got the young woman affected by an illness. You've got the potentially tense and strained marriage between the parents. You've got the drug dealer who is befriending the central character, but maybe angling just to, line his own pockets as well. You got these things in play, and yet it just turns into something like really good and effective, and yeah, kind of, I would say, strangely uplifting. And like you have to dig through a lot of darker moments, whether they're slightly darker or much darker, but you every now and again there is this uplifting moment, whether it's the effects of the parents being kind to someone that their daughter likes and seeing those positive repercussions that may ripple outward, or whether it's just the young woman at the center of it trying to ensure that others remember to kind of smile or appreciate what they have around them, because she knows she might not have it in her grasp for as long. Like it's just really good. So has anyone else seen that?
I have.
Oh, you have to.
Yes, I was a big fan. It was actually one of my favorites of 2019 when it came out. I thought it was really good. I'm usually not a huge fan of movies that deal with someone struggling with an illness. It's usually not my thing. But like you said, that one had kind of like an uplifting thing behind it, which was surprising. But yeah, it's really good. The lead was amazing. I loved her in that. She was fantastic.
Yeah, I think the cast really do a lot to lift this up because, as I say, on paper, there's sort of every individual element of this. You could be like, yeah, we've seen that 100 times. We've seen that 100 times. We've seen that, and even for what might have drawn you to it, Tyler, I think it's kind of different. Do you know what I mean? So I'm glad that you
Mm-hmm.
enjoyed it and didn't think, well, they they tricked me into this one. I don't think they are dishonest with any of the characters, but they use them in a really interesting and yeah, it's just like it's a really nice way. So let's go to the more ridiculous side of things. Okay, I watched Elfman, so yous don't have to. Is anyone familiar with Elfman, the 2011 film that is a Christmas movie vehicle for Jason Weeman Acuna?
I do know that it exists, but I like myself more than that.
Well, Dave, because Jeffrey Combs is in it.
Fuck, now I'm gonna watch it, you son of a bitch.
I knew I would get you in. This is really silly stuff, obviously. Yeah, Jason Acuna, who people will know, I guess. I was going to say mostly, but I think maybe only from Jackass. He is an elf who helps a family because the scientist dad has been taken hostage by criminals who want his latest invention. That's it. The baddies are one of them is played by Jeffrey Combs, and he is hamming it up in quite a fun way. There are two kids who will obviously be sort of putting on the big eyes and looking innocent and vulnerable for the most part. There is a love interest for the dad as well, and she's in the house when the criminals come back, so she's put in danger and gets to join the fun. And there's a grandma who looks quite befuddled and dodders around. There is quite an enjoyable running joke about the state of the grandma's cooking. Like, it's not one of those Christmas movies where grandma turns up, brings us cooking, and you see all these glazed hams and gorgeous cakes and stuff. There are burnt cookies. There's a fruit cake that weighs about the same as a bowling ball, and the kid takes it and puts it in a cupboard with other cakes that they've stashed there from her. That's quite fun. The worst part of this is Acuna because he's not a great actor, and when they try and give him his little moment of, if others believe in me, maybe I should believe in myself more, kind of thing. It doesn't work. So there we go.
I think if I watched that film, I would feel like Peter Dinklage's eyes like boring into me while I was watching it. His disappointment at me and for everyone involved in its production. I couldn't do it. Let him down like that.
Like, no, I think she tried. I think she tried to struggle on, and then I think in your mind you can create the movie with Peter Dinklage in the main role.
He wouldn't
And he
want
could
that.
just saunter through the house being like, that's what I do. I drink and I know who's on the naughty or nice list. And that would be a much better film. I watched Jingle Bell Heist on Netflix.
Good
That
God.
was I thought there's got to be more Christmassy rom-com, which again, Vicky and I sat down, we were ready for this, and like it's okay. It has a fun supporting role, but he's only a couple of scenes. It's Peter Serafinowicz, and there are a couple of scenes for Lucy Punch. She's quite funny in this. The leads are okay, but it is actually more of a kind of aiming to be the heist slash con movie. So bit of an odd duck. Like, it's not quite fun enough to be fluffy fun, and it's not good enough really when it comes to the heist con stuff, because you're only getting towards the ending and you're sitting there thinking, oh yeah, they are keeping this as the main focal point of the movie. Like, you watch some Christmas movie and they're building up to something, but towards the third act, they all start to realize other things and they're going in other ways, and you're like, oh, here's the message of Christmas coming through. This one has some messaging through it, but you're getting to the end and you're like, oh no, it's still okay. Yes, it's called Jingle Bell Heist, and that's where we're going exactly. A couple of amateurs who will suddenly turn into expert robbers. Such is the message of the season. I finally watched Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas. Sorry, I thought that would at least get some
No, I mean,
appreciation from Daddy Dave.
Emmett Otter is cute.
It is very cute.
It's very cute.
Is any of it edited into other things? Because I got real deja vu near the start when they're walking by a shop and a drum rolls out of it.
Yeah, parts of it were kind of reused.
So I may have seen it in something that was
Um,
reused, but I
there-
didn't remember anything else about it. Like I didn't recognize any of the songs, which are a couple of the songs are really quite earnest and just done as nice songs. I didn't recognize the surprisingly bleak tone of 3/4 of the runtime. He's like, please just let me throw some money at these otters so they can go and buy a fish and have a nice day and forget about their money worries for a while. But it is very cute. I read up on it and I believe it was a kind of a dry run for a Muppet movie. And yeah, I can see why everything was locked in for success to become the Henson way after that. And I watched A Christmas Angel Match. Now, guys, this is proper Christmas TV movie fare. And there are a pair of angels who have to get people to match and fall in love. And when they do that at Christmas, it's the best time. It's the nicest time. And one angel is named Monica, and she's played by Megan Ori. Megan Ori also wrote this one. So she is getting in there with the Christmas movies. But Monica likes to do things properly and believes there should be a really deep, strong connection between people. But she's paired up with Michael, who's played by Benjamin Ayres. He believes that good connections come from people having fun and then just developing things from there. So wouldn't you know, they have a bit of a clash of styles, but they've got to work together because this latest love match is crucial. Gabriel has told them this needs to be done. And I quite liked this one. It was enjoyable. The leads were good. Ori is a nice lead. Benjamin Ayres, he's good and sort of charming, but also from certain angles looks really like the guy whose name I've just blanked on, but he plays Bob in the Deadpool movies. You know the guy I mean. You know that it's
yes,
Rob something.
I know the guy you're talking about.
Delaney.
Yes, thank you. This Benjamin Ayres, like from certain angles, like he's definitely cloned from Rob Delaney. And he has been able to watch humans and try human things like hot chocolate and wants to dance, whereas the other angel, doesn't want to mess with any of that, just wants to get a job done. Like it's your typical mismatched duo finding common ground and working. Yeah, it's really just quite nice. The angel land, aka heaven, is just bathed in white lights and kept sparse, but looks good. Like this doesn't look quite as cheap as some movies like this, and I just thought it was good. There was nothing that made me laugh heartily, but I did grin a few times, and I found myself just enjoying it for the duration, much more than I would some others. Some others you end up having to slog through, even though they're meant to be there as a distraction while you overdose on cocoa and mince pies. But this was it was a good one, and this is one from this year. So this is one of the newest batch.
Your letterbox must look like a cry for help.
It does.
Two films
It
about
does,
mental
yeah.
hospitals, and then all of this.
I look every once in a while and I just think Kevin.
I mean,
It's going to
that's
be the first
just
time anyone from Letterboxd has tried to contact one of their members to see if they're all right.
I mean, that's the stuff I tell you about. There's all the other stuff. Do you know what I mean? Not even covering some of the more embarrassing stuff. Think of that. There's embarrassing stuff I don't mention on the podcast, and it's there on my letterboxd. People can view it, and then they can also send me helplines. But that is me.
Ori was actually on Hallmark show called Chesapeake Shores, which is set close to where I live, and I've never seen a show that was so obviously Canada.
Well, she's in it's Sullivan's Crossing, I think, and there's another actress in the movie that's from that show as well. So they've obviously I think she got her friend on board because she got the writing gig. I think the show's called Sullivan's Crossing. I'm sure Vicky's watched a bit of it.
So I watched 3 gangster biopics this week, guys. I watched Hoffa with Jack Nicholson. That's good stuff, and Nicholson is fucking great in it, as he always is. I watched Gotti, the 1996 Armin Asante HBO movie, not the Travolta one. That one was really solid. Asante just fucking rocks it. He's really good as John Gotti, just so good. I mean, it's a TV movie, but it's an HBO TV movie, and it's a '90s HBO TV movie, but it's really well done, cinematic, and it's good stuff. And I ended that marathon with the Josh Trank Capone movie, which I love. I mean, it takes some balls to make a Capone movie and just skip the gangster shit and just make one with Tom Hardy sick with syphilis, mumbling and just shitting his pants for the entire movie. I mean, that's kind of amazing. And I kind of love Josh Trank for that. I don't know what the fuck Tom Hardy said throughout the entire movie, but he's great in it. Yeah, I know people don't like this movie, but I just really dig how fucking weird it is. It kind of felt like a troll movie on Josh Trank's part, but I kind of love it. It's just so weird when he's outside just mumbling in a fucking diaper shooting a Tommy gun. I'm like, yeah, this is amazing, so good. But obviously it killed Josh Trank's career because I don't think he's made anything since. But yeah, I really dig this movie. It's just fucking bizarre as hell, and yeah, that's me.
My concentration has gone to shit in the last couple of years, and I have not been watching very many movies. But also, I'm on a movie podcast, and I've decided shit. I've got to get my shit together and watch more movies. So I watched at least one movie a day for the last week. So I'm going to tell you about all of them, but I'll try and be quick. On Sunday we had Family Film Day. So me, my wife Stephanie, my son James, we all picked a film each. James picked Bayside Shakedown the movie, which is the first feature-length spin-off from the Japanese TV series Bayside Shakedown. Obviously, it's pretty cute. I liked it. The cast are really good. They've got that kind of easy chemistry that comes from having already done a full season of television together, which probably means James enjoyed it more than us because he's been binging the TV series. But it was a good one. It's got some solid satire in it. It's got serious and silly kind of ideas about hierarchies and class systems in Japan, and it's very funny. Like it ends with just the most perfect punchline gets dropped just before the credits roll, and I had a lot of fun with it. I'm probably going to watch. I don't know sure how many sequels there are. There are at least two more, so I'm going to watch those of them at some point. I might even go back and watch the TV series. They're pretty cute. Then Stephanie chose A Taste of Tea. That was fantastic. It's a really adorable kind of slice of life drama, which I think is something Japan does better than anywhere else in the world. And it's really, really just a beautiful little slice of life, but with this really surreal edge to it, which I won't spoil in case anyone wants to watch it. But it's got a really stellar cast, like 2 of the best child performances I've ever seen. They really are remarkable. You got one lovelorn teenage boy and one very serious younger girl who's having an existential crisis at like the age of 6 or 7 or whatever she is, and it's very funny and insightful, and it is sweet without becoming over sentimental. It's probably going to be a Japanuary pick for me, so you're all going to get to see it and appreciate it. Has anyone already seen it? A Taste of Tea?
I have, yeah.
I can't remember.
Well, you're probably going to see it again.
Okay,
Right,
nice.
Because
I also know how many Bayside Shakedown movies there are.
Oh, how many?
6.
Oh, there's a new one coming. Does it include that one? Or
No, I didn't know there was a new one coming. I thought the last one is literally called Final.
oh no, there's another one coming, so there's going to be 7.
Oh. Okay. Well, yeah, 2 are spin-offs though. So
Oh, okay, okay. Have you watched any of the Bayside Shakedown stuff?
I've seen the show. I haven't seen the movies. It's
Oh,
been a
okay,
minute.
okay. First movie was good. I enjoyed it. It was my pick, and Stephanie and James had already picked Japanese films. So I thought, look, I'm not going to spoil things. I'll pick a Japanese film, and I picked Sana by the Grudge creator Takashi Shimizu. Why not? Um, First half really had me thinking I was onto a loser. It's like way too interested in like pushing this. There's a J-pop group who are in the film playing themselves, and they're 95% of the cast, and the film seems way more interested in pushing them than doing working on the lore that's essential to the film. But the second half really picked up. It's genuinely Shimizu does creepy really well, and it is genuinely fucking creepy. It's like his usual bag of tricks are on display, but they just work again. There are cat noises, there are horrible things under the duvet, and it's still as creepy as it was in The Grudge. So yeah, that's not bad. I've heard the sequel's better, so I'm gonna give that a go. But Sana, yeah, if you could push through the first half, it's a solid watch. I then watched Steppenwolf, which is a kind of Kazakhstani Mad Max with less action and like more gritty nihilism. It's really, really good. It's bleak and blunt. It's both the leads are absolutely fucking superb. It's got this killer soundtrack or score. It sounds like the score of like a recent Nicholas Winding Refn film, Drive, Only God Forgives, that sort of score. It's really, really strong. And I love the story. Like it evolves from this at the beginning, just flat out mean nihilism into something really emotional by the end. It really grabbed me. I really, really like that one. I'll probably pick that for the podcast at some point. Tyler, you'll like it. Steppenwolf, 2012, Kazakhstani film.
All right, writing it down.
You
Oh,
will enjoy.
before I forget, Arrow is releasing the Sana films as a box set in the UK in February.
Yes, well, I watched it on the Arrow channel,
Yeah, well, that's
so I
how
assume
they
they
got
were.
it.
Yeah,
Still not here though. Still not in the States. But that's what my
you're gonna,
VPN is for.
yeah, you're gonna have to do your magic tricks with your VPN. I believe it's magic because technology is confusing to me, so it's magic. Then I watched. Sorry, I've got 2 more to go. 2 more, yeah. I watched Derelict, which is a 2024 British revenge flick, which was really, really heavily influenced by Dead Man's Shoes. But if you're going to be heavily influenced by something, make it a masterpiece like Dead Man's Shoes. It's got 2 really strong central performances, plus a third central performance that kind of lets the side down a little. It's not bad. It's just a little overt in certain scenes, and just it's just a little bit. I don't want to spoil anything. It's just a little overt at points and lets the side down a little. But it's a solid one. Like the story's compelling. It's a bit too long, but I liked how it avoids easy answers and pat resolutions, and it's a really solid effort, especially with its obvious budgetary restrictions. It's a solid effort. I feel like one of the writers is someone that Kevin might know, Kat Ellinger.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
She's one of the writers. I know she's friends with lots of my friends on Facebook, and she does a lot of the special features for Arrow and so on and so forth. But yeah, she's one of the 4 writers on it, and yeah, it's a solid one. It's worth a little look. I think T would enjoy that one as well because it's just quite unpleasant at points. So I imagine T would like it. And then the last one, I rewatched Series 7, The Contenders, which I haven't seen since it first came out in 2001. And man, I should have been watching that yearly because it's a real blast. Like it recreates like that docudrama style and format from the time like perfectly. Just an absolute perfect recreation. The cast are fantastic, especially Brooke Smith and a young Merritt Weaver. It's a real blast of a film, and it has a fucking evil sense of humor in it, which I really appreciated. I think like the climax isn't 100% successful. I get what they were going for, but otherwise it's a really timely little satire that kind of like disappeared off the face of the earth like a couple of years after it came out, and it's a shame because I think it would find a whole new audience if some boutique Blu-ray label were to, put it out sometime. It's a really solid one. I assume everyone's seen Series 7 Contenders.
Yeah, it's been a minute though, but
Yeah, I've had it on my mind as well with obviously the reworking
Running
of
Man.
the Running Man coming out. Yeah, I'm always like, yeah, I remember enjoying Series 7 Contenders because it was obviously I had that similar core idea, but also really well done with the showing the kind of in quotes the reality show side and the manipulation with the editing and the different
Yeah.
ways of showing the narrative, which was that's probably more spot on than ever nowadays.
Well, Edgar Wright's brought it up a lot recently when talking about the Running Man. He said he's mentioned that there was an influence on his version
Oh,
of
cool.
Running Man. So yeah, that's a really good one. I'll probably pick that up for the podcast at some point because it needs to be seen by. Need to prod both of our viewers into watching it. And that's me for the week.
Oh, speaking of prodding both of our viewers, sorry, Dave, but
No,
got to
you're
give a
good.
shout out to Mike. I think that's the one person I've seen where we're on his Wrapped of the year. For
I know we
podcast
were
Yay!
number
listening.
2. I was
Yeah, I
shocked.
was like, thank you, Mike. And he's only behind if he's just got that much to catch up on. And like I think he even tries to watch some of Tyler's picks sometimes. It's mad.
He's a sick man, but we love him anyway. This week we watched the 2021 Russian drama Gerda, aka The Student, which is fucking English titles, and the 1989 American action film Action U.S.A. Hey, Kevin,
Yes.
would you like to pick a movie and tell us about?
Sure, yeah. I will struggle to discuss either of these movies. Not necessarily the fault of the movies. The fault lies with me. But I will go for Tyler's choice, Gerda. And the reason I'll go with Tyler's choice, right? I want to run this by you guys and see if you pick up on this. Did you happen to see how this is described online?
Yeah, horrendous.
Yeah, it is. It does not.
I'm even going to run it by Tyler. See what he makes of this. See how he can justify this summary. Go on, Tyler.
There's
A
no
story,
justifying that summary.
a story of a
There's
young woman whose soul remembers the metaphysical perfection it witnessed before becoming embodied. Now, against the canvas of the modern world, it seems like a film defect. Was that in the film, Tyler? Was that there?
It was not. I don't know who the fuck wrote that summary for IMDb, but it is horrible.
Yeah. And I read
Well,
that summary.
I
I was
mean,
like, oh, I didn't get that.
I mean, I get. They mention what that's from. I mean, that is Plato, and that's oh crap, what's it called? Anonymous's? Anamnesis. Dude, I can barely speak English. Don't ask me for ancient fucking Greek. But his concept is that the soul remembers, everyone's soul remembers innate knowledge from the pre-birth existence in the realms of the forms. And that is how we were able to recognize certain sensory inputs. It's really
Sounds like
dumb.
bullshit to me.
Well, yeah, of course it's bullshit. Plato said a lot of cool stuff, but not all of it is fucking, great. And this is not one of them. They
So
mention it in the movie, but it is like 2 seconds and it's mostly background audio that they didn't even really translate on the subs. So there is a reason that it says that, because the person watched the first scene while she was in college and then just stopped.
you're telling me I was inadvertently channeling Plato when I used to repeat the silly joke, I remember from before I was
Yeah.
born, I went out with my dad and came back with my mum.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That's good to know. So written and directed by Natalya Kudryashova,
Oh, this is gonna be
and
fun with with the names.
yeah, I'm only mentioning one other name. I don't care about anyone else. The main character is played by Anastasia Krasovskaya, and this is a tale of a young woman who doesn't have a great home life. Her mother has um, it's not it's, it's not narcolepsy, is it? But she goes into the deep sleeps. She's kind of out for it. I can't remember if there's any other substances affecting
Sleepwalking.
her mother. Oh yeah, she
It's
has the sleepwalking.
sleepwalking.
But there were times where it almost feels like she like zonks out really so heavily that there's something more to it. But anyway, that's an issue. Um, there's there are problems at home, and she does some stripping, erotic dancing, escorting. She goes further than some of the other women, which gets her some bad reactions. And yeah, that's really what I got from this. And what I got from this wasn't much at all. So I didn't like this. And like nowadays, when you give us a film about sex workers, which is at least once a month, I tend to have high hopes because you've brought some good ones to the table. There's been some good stuff in terms of whether they're just a pure character study or whether it's looking at the the uh, attitudes progressing, attitudes staying rooted in like old fashioned repressive mindsets, or whether it's about just the modern world and technology when it's cam girl stuff and how people can make lots of money nowadays or become minor celebrities. I like that. With Gerda, I like I never really felt like we got close enough to the main character, even though we spent pretty much all the movie alongside her. It just it just never gave anything substantial enough through the the plot or the vignettes to still show us anything. Like from the end of this film, there's possibly a slight change in how she looks to be set to move on, to move forward. But you could also view the start and end as being quite the same. He doesn't feel like she goes through any major changes, or certainly doesn't show them. There are interactions, there are confrontations, there are moments of tension. There's the obligatory scene that we all knew would be in here with lots of naked penises wagging around, and she does something then to help keep herself safe and hopefully keep her colleagues safe. It's a very dangerous and horrible situation. That was probably the most interesting moment in this movie, but it was only interesting because it was a complete. I don't know if I'm using the phrase right, but it was almost like a complete non sequitur. So, yeah, it was interesting because it was different from anything else in the movie. It was so sudden and it was there. And yeah, it was just. It's the closest that the film came to just being much better than it was at any other point. I, you know, I wasn't won over really by any of the supporting players. Not that anybody was bad, but nobody else got my attention. I did actually. I kind of wish the mother had factored a bit more, and it seems funny saying that because of how she overshadows the life of the main character and how things are going on there. But she is for the most part quite sleepy or sleepwalking. I I think the story could have been much more interesting from her perspective, and whether it's showing how she got to that stage or showing how she maybe ends up trying to cope with her situation or can't cope with her situation, and doing that. I just think you could pry into this and probably find a dozen different angles from which to make this a better tale and a better film. And this was almost the mathematically calculated, dullest and flattest way to tell this story. There's no bell curve, there's no graph, it's just a flat line. And I did not expect that. And next time, Tyler, you must do better with your squalid stripper movies. I demand better. Otherwise, I'm not putting any more coins in the peep show slot.
Oh, I can always deliver stripper movies. Don't worry.
Yeah, but I kind of, I do get a little bit of optimism now because I know we joke about like your taste being different from ours and what you make us watch, but you have, I can't remember some of the better titles, but we've had conversations that have been at least interesting conversations and at least, a pleasant surprise here and there, even if not all of us agree on the movie and the way that you view it.
Yeah.
But this one just it really didn't work for me. I'm sorry, and yeah, I'd hoped it would be better, especially because the amount of times I kept forgetting what it was bloody called. And you look this up as a student, and you get about a dozen other films called The Student apart from this one. Bloody
Yeah, this one does not come up under that. It comes up under Gerda,
yeah.
and then when you find it under Gerda, it will say The Student on a couple US streaming sites. But yeah.
But
I
it
think
doesn't
when
come.
I think when Dark Sky Films bought it, they just changed the title to The Student. So I mean Gerda's a way better title, but yeah, I just think when Dark Sky bought it, they were like, you know what, let's call it The Student and throw it on the streaming services.
You say it's a way better title, but it doesn't come up anytime you type in Greta. So, maybe just get some programming that would realize I'm a fucking idiot that can't remember the title. And when I type in Greta, I'm looking for Gerda. It's- I mean, are we not living in the future yet? Come on.
Did I go?
Oh,
Yeah.
please do.
Okay. Yeah, it's fair to say we have seen a lot of these kinds of films. Lots of coming of age movies. Lots of movies about strippers and sex workers and like other tangentially related misery porn films about addicts and youth gone bad, etc., etc. So we've kind of seen like the same characters play out the same scenes a lot over the years. It gets a little wearing at times. So what I've done is, for the sake of my own sanity, I attempted a radical form of self therapy and forced myself to view this film from a totally different angle. This film and films like it from a new angle, and I'm calling that new angle Florida Dogma. Basically, it's like Dogma. Certain key elements absolutely must be included in Tyler's misery porn pics in order to fit the Hosley doctrine. It's not they're not repetitive. They fit the Hosley doctrine, and in realizing this and coming to this realization, I kind of freed myself from the burdensome need for like originality or any kind of unique attributes of any kind. I just now want one simple thing from these movies. I just want them to move me. They don't have to be original, just move me. And Gerda did exactly that. This is a 111-minute movie that took me 111 minutes to watch. Like, I didn't watch 40 minutes of it, check the remaining runtime, have a little cry. I just pressed play and I just watched this movie from its beginning to its end, which might sound like, damning it with faint praise, but the way my concentration has been in recent years is something of a miracle. It just grabbed me from the off till the very end. A lot of the credit goes to the cast, like Yulia Marchenko as the protagonist's mum, Honora's Yura Borisov as Oleg. Uh, here we go. Maria Lenova and Maria Ianova as Lena's work colleagues. They're really good. They're great unsupportive supporting roles to the lead. But the lead is yeah, she's the strongest point. She's phenomenal. What here we go with the name. Ah, ooh, and that's the Krasovskia. I'm sorry. Like she was fantastic in this role. She conveys so much through just body language alone. Like you can see you can see the weight on her shoulders building like incrementally until she's worn down to a nub. Like every time things get worse, it shows in her body language. Every time things get just slightly better, like when her mum returns to the hospital, it lifts a bit. It's all there in her body language, and it's a really strong performance. It's her reaction to a certain event in the third act felt uncomfortably real. Like having experienced something similar myself, like it got under my skin. It really. Ugh. I just think she was absolutely fantastic. She's up there with the actress from Clip, I would say, in terms of just phenomenal performances from actresses that I'll probably never see again in anything, which is a shame. The filmmaking is really fucking strong. Like there's a like a hazy handheld aesthetic that films like this often employ, but it feels a lot of the time like a commercial choice rather than a creative one. This one, it definitely feels like a creative choice. It feels very deliberate, intimate, evocative. It's really well shot. It's beautifully lit. It is very skillfully edited. There's a pole dancing scene in the third act, because of course there is, which is really brilliantly constructed. It is just a real masterclass in editing and lighting. It's fucking fantastic. Uh, Most important, no, well, not most important, because I thought the cast was fantastic. It has such a control of tone. Like we joke sometimes, don't watch this if you're depressed. I'd say do watch this. Watch Gerda if you're depressed, because you'll feel a lot better about your lot in life. Like we watched Florida Dogma, that's much more like overtly grim than this, but like few of them are as like suffocatingly, oppressively hopeless as Gerda is. Like even the fucking food in Russia looks evil. Like Gerda is brutally depressing without going for the misery porn money shots. Lots of directors they wouldn't be able to resist it. Like when one of her workmate dies, she dies off screen, and the information is just relayed via like a blunt phone call. A gun appears in the climax, but doesn't result in the dire consequences you would expect it to. And in my favourite scene, which was apparently also Kevin's, uh, Lena fends off like a possible attack by singing a song to like psychologically disarm these men and humanize herself in their presence. I'm not sure if it was I'm not sure about the song. I assumed it was like a children's song, maybe something they sang to their own children, and that's why she performed it for them. But that was an absolutely beautiful scene, and there's just lots of little scenes like that where it resists being overtly bleak and offers you something else which still has the same impact. And I was just really impressed, and I really like the whole subplot about the sociology questionnaire. I thought that was fascinating. There's so much. The interviews are really interesting. People trying to say very little, but in in the act of saying very little, they end up saying too much, and you worry about what they're saying. You're like, I don't think I want to know where those answer sheets end up being. With it being a film about somewhere as corrupt as Russia, I wouldn't want to be answering those questionnaires. So yeah, I really like this one. I was really impressed. It's well acted. It's well crafted. It's a really persuasively bleak portrait of like the many, many fucking orphans of contemporary Mother Russia. It's yes, it's a peach. It's a miserable peach. So good on you, T.
Nice.
The song she sings is actually the Rose Song, which is from Hans Christian Andersen's The Snow Queen. It's a variant on that.
Okay, I imagine it was a song that fathers would sing to their daughters, and that's why she
Yeah,
chose it.
I mean that's seems a pretty spot on thing. Actually, the whole movie is kind of a working of the Snow Queen. The name Gerda comes from that. That's the girl being told the story of the Snow Queen in Hans Christian Andersen's original. I don't know what movie Kevin watched because I loved this movie. I thought it was fantastic. It was really well shot. There's some gorgeous shots, especially in the city. It's unrelentingly depressing and bleak. The lead is fantastic. This is a movie of somebody being ground down towards the end. And it's non-judgmental towards pretty much everyone in it.
Even the father, to a degree, who's clearly a piece of shit, but
yeah, that's kind of men being pieces of shit is just kind of a Russian thing. But yeah, I think it's pretty fantastic. It's an interesting take, and it's a pretty unblinking look at this life and just how dead end it is, and even when you try to embrace the magical realism like her mother does, it just doesn't. It's still what it is. I love the interview scenes. They were both hilarious and depressing as shit. I thought almost all the folks in that gave strong turns. Yeah, Yuri Borisov is an absolutely fantastic actor. So it's good to always see him pop up, and twice on movies we covered this year. I'm sure we'll probably do AK at some point. I don't know if that's gotten a wide release here yet in the UK. It's a few years old, but he's good.
what was his
The lead
connection
is
to Gerda? I didn't work it out.
I
She was
have
just
no
a friend?
idea. He was a friend. I guess she had romantic feelings for him, but it was very because she flirts with him a couple times and he never reciprocates. They didn't quite get into him. And then you have that and I don't want to spoil it because I think this is actually kind of fantastic and other people should see it. But when they try to, he's like a grounding influence, which then even that disappoints. I think I can say that without spoiling too much. It's really good. I don't get what's going on with him. They didn't quite explain it that I noticed, but it could have just been the subs I was reading. They were not the best. The supporting cast is all really strong. The fantasy bits are fantastic. This was made for no money, and it looks better than a lot of stuff made for a lot of money. Every so often, Tyler makes us watch a stripper movie that I think really lands, and this is one of them. I really liked this. I really hope to see the Belarusian lead pop up in more stuff. I don't know if she will. I think she's only done like 2 TV series besides this, but here's hoping.
Nice. But yeah, I think this movie is fantastic. I'm gonna echo Craig and Dave's thoughts here. Some may call it misery porn, and you may be right, but because it's such a grim, dark, depressing look at the harsh realities of modern Russian society. Look, I've never been to Russia, and I never plan to. I mean, maybe I'll visit a strip club if I ever go, because if they all look like the girls in these strip clubs, maybe. But yeah, it plays out like a social drama as we follow this girl who's just trying to make her way through her life, as hopeless as it feels throughout this film. I mean, she's a caretaker to her sick mom. She's a college student, a sex worker, working in a club where, I mean, some of these girls just treat her like shit constantly. But but yeah, I love the juxtaposition of how bleak and washed out the outside world looks, the rundown apartments, the cold gray skies. Then we cut to the strip club and it's so vibrant and neon, just full of these dark reds and purples. Our lead is fantastic. I really suck at pronouncing these names, but she's just fucking amazing. I loved her performance in this so much. Honestly, and I'm going to say that I know this movie didn't come out this year, but this is probably one of the best performances I've seen all year in film. She is just amazing. I loved her in this. But you can just see the pain in her eyes in every scene she's in. I mean, Craig said it perfectly. You can truly see the weight on her shoulders in every fucking scene. Just a brilliant performance. I just can't fucking express it enough. She's so good. But yeah, I love seeing Yuri from Nenora in this. He's great in this as well. Actually, for some reason, I kind of got like, maybe because I just watched Nenora recently again. And I feel like they're very similar characters in a way, but very different. But yeah, he's great. I love the dream sequences. I don't know if you guys noticed, but the sound design in those dream sequences sounded so much like a Geiger counter for radiation. I don't know if that was purposely done, but that's what I was getting in those scenes. It's just I love the sound design in those dream sequences. It almost feels like a horror film when those woods appear. But yeah, it's directed incredibly well. It's directed by a female, and it actually feels very female. That 5 minute pole dance sequence, it's so beautifully choreographed and so wonderfully edited. The filmmaking on display here is just fantastic. Handheld camera work, just it's all so fucking good. And I love the ending when you, and I don't know if this is a spoiler, I shouldn't say it, but when you finally see those metaphorical wings growing as she walks away, yeah, it's just I fucking love the ending. Just yeah, broke my
Yeah,
heart
me
and
too.
just yeah, just it broke my heart and just kind of filled me with optimism just as she walked away. It's such a great ending. Yeah, fantastic film all across the board, and I'm glad Dave and Craig liked it because yeah, this one blew me away. Is that me
Okay,
doing Action
no,
USA
I'll
or you
do
can
it.
do it?
I'll fucking do it.
All right.
I'll fucking do it. I'll throw myself on that sword and I will fucking Action USA is about um a woman is abducted with her boyfriend and sees him killed, but so do two FBI agents who grab the woman and then they go to retrieve diamonds and are chased by the killers, and kind of that's it. That's the plot. Uh like I don't understand why they don't get it. Like I've seen the movie, so I know how it happens, but like at some point they should realize that the fact that they're not getting sent any backup or local help or access to an actual safe house or anything should be a little should be
Bit
ringing
hinky.
alarm bells. But no, because we've got the two worst fucking FBI agents ever. We have Gregory Scott Cummins as Clay, who is full on in the discount Mel Gibson mold, as in the costume designer and he both sat down and they watched maybe I don't know how many had come out at this point. The first two Lethal Weapons, and they went, "That's how you're going to dress," and he went, "And act," and they went, "Why not?" But then he got no like further information, and then they showed his partner William Hubbard Knight, who plays Panama, those same movies, and they went, "That's how you're going to dress." but you don't worry trying to act like Danny Glover. Just don't fucking do it. And he went, I like there are 4 actors maybe I really generally enjoy that pop up in this movie. Ross Hagen, Drago. He was in a lot of bad movies, but I still enjoy him. He also does a voice for the gamers in the audience. He does the voice of Landon Ricketts in Red Dead Redemption. Cameron Mitchell, the always wonderful Cameron Mitchell, who just had one of the greatest stage careers and a great early 50s film career, and then spent 30 years doing the absolute worst trash he could get his hands on. And I respect it. It's not a judgment. I love me Cameron Mitchell from, like, I think he originated a role in Death of a Salesman. He was the first guy to play Happy Loman. Yeah, that's the son, right? I think so. Anyway, like all the way through until, and we've seen a few of his movies at this point. I think his last film was, I'm sorry, my brain just is. Mama's. No, it was. Was it a Murder She Wrote episode? But anyway, he's always great. It's great to see fucking Cameron Mitchell show up. Love Cameron Mitchell. And here, he's obviously there just because he gets to hang out with pretty women in his own house for like, what is 2 scenes? And they paid him like a quarter of the budget to do it. I love it. Fuck yeah, Cameron, take that money. Hoke Howell plays Hitch. Hoke Howell's another one of those, hey actors from this time period. He was in absolute shit, but I always enjoy him when he pops up. And I think the last one was William Smith is Conover. All 4 of the villains are basically the reasons you watch this, because they are actors you have seen in other things and enjoyed. Tragically, they're given nothing in this. The screenplay is by David Reskin, and it is absolutely atrocious. You watch this movie for the stunts, which are, mostly not great. But there are 2 good stunt scenes, one at the very beginning, one at the very end. The problem is 80 minutes in between them are just, like, painfully boring. And the script is just painfully bad. It's just, there's no heart or soul. You know me. I say it all the time. I love, hey, let's go put on a show kind of stuff, but this is not it. This is cold and conniving and just less than mediocre. It's just bad, and it's not fun, and that kills it for me. So I did not enjoy this one. I wanted to. Like, I bet you thought I was going to say I enjoyed it a little because I was saying how much I loved the 4 villains, but no, they're wasted. They're so good in other things, and they're trying. Like, they all have charisma, and they all can work together, and they're doing their best. It's just there's nothing there. There's nothing there.
Well, I enjoyed this a little. But I can still agree with Dave that there's basically nothing there. The script is terrible. It's dire and laughably bad in some places. Especially the start, guy, entering his home with a beautiful woman. Guys enter, um, pretty much just punch her in the face, and then leave with the other guy. There's a helicopter ride. He jumps, is quite casual about rejoining the woman in a car, and a chase ensues from there as well. It's yeah, I mean it's a hell of a fast intro. Unfortunately, I can't maintain that momentum, but I didn't expect it to. But there are a few decent beats on the way to the ending. The ending, I've got to say, I don't know if it's the same moment you were on about, Dave. I suspect it is. I was genuinely impressed by that free fall jump, the through the window. Was that the big stunt you were on about?
I love the free fall jump. That is so
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
I mean
I mean,
that
there were
was
some bits in the chase before
well
that I
done.
enjoyed, but yeah, that free fall jump is so
Yeah.
good.
It was great. It was unexpectedly great for us. That's what I think I liked about this. Like I say, and I have to be at pains to say this. I do agree with Dave that there's nothing really to it. Certainly in terms of the screenplay, the acting performances are all over the shop, but they're fun. But I think they're fun. Um, Sometimes because of the acting, sometimes because they have to play characters who have to stay like 2 or 3 steps behind everything that's unfolding. And you have Barry Murphy there playing Carmen. She's the glamorous leading lady amongst all these men fighting things out. But I I think I think what I liked about this, and it made me really like it, were the moments that were far more impressive than I expected to see in this. And I read up on this and saw how they got sort of leeway and cooperation from a certain area, and that included the working with the helicopter and stuff as well. The way they got permissions and the way they got stuff to use, and it's all quite yeah. It was quite it seemed to be quite a really good way of forming this film, working with everything that they had, and also using that to get as much as they could from like local area or connections to try and get as much value for money. Like with stunt performers, I think, and we discussed this the other week, which my choice had the downside of having all that sorcery distraction with the music and the stage work. But yeah, if you have a bunch of game stunt performers and the right terrain or vehicles or set piece in mind, if everything's as safe as they want it to be, and you're still going by the seat of your pants, you've got a lot of in camera special effects there. You've got stuff that can impress. Um, I always say, like, nowadays, it's like, recently there's been a big box office success with the unexpected third installment in the Now You See Me series. And I've never, like, that series, it just loses the joy of, if you see somebody doing magic at you, like, it's really still impressive and you can try and figure it out. If you watch someone doing magic that's covered up by edits and loads of CGI on screen, it's just a load of CGI and editing. Same with stunts. If you see anyone doing gymnastics like in front of your face or diving about, you're impressed by their physical ability. You love what they're doing. The same on screen if they're doing that. If it's covered over by special effects and like all the over editing, you just lose interest. And we saw that years ago with a couple of Jackie Chan movies where they forgot he was a special effect and tried to overload it. And it it's glaringly obvious when you have something like this that doesn't have all the polish and the mega millions in the bank for the budget, but does have folk that will seemingly happily throw themselves around moving vehicles, attach themselves to helicopters, do massive free falls. It's yeah, uh, that that makes up for quite a few failings elsewhere, and there are quite a few failings elsewhere. But when this really, really hits the mark, it punches way above its weight, and does a great job. So I really like this, and I also think that despite it being that kind of low budget film that is just built around some stunts and some cheesy action, it's also better than, you know, a load of other titles we could choose for an example of this kind of thing. You know, it's not up there with the stuff that had a star in the main role and had the weight of a studio behind it, or just the weight of a better, more cohesive stunt team and a vision for the main star. But it is like, you know, we've had things like this before where you have one good fight and the rest is just a turgid mess. I don't think this is that. I think it still has. Actually, it has enough humor and energy throughout to keep it watchable, even though there are the lulls that are expected in between the highlights. So yeah, I was a bit scared when you threw us my way, Craig, because it had backfired when I picked Stump Rock. I was like, what's happening? Who will be the cheesy glam rock band in this one? But thankfully, none of that. So it was a good time.
Well, I can't say I really liked the dime store Texas twang version of Shane Black, the trash version of Lethal Weapon, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I was expecting some canon goodness with this title, but unfortunately it's not. It's not even like Superman 4 levels of canon, which is not a good thing. The cast isn't very good at all. Gregory Scott Cummins, I don't know who he is, but he's fucking awful. Just an awful actor. Um, I mean, I liked some of the practical stunts and some of like the juicy red squibs when people got shot. That was kind of cool. When there was action on screen, I was fairly entertained. But the problem is there isn't much at all for a movie called Action USA. I mean, the plot, it's there, I guess. It's not good, but I guess it's fine enough, fine-ish, kind of acceptable for this really bad script that this has. I mean, I don't really need a good script when it comes to just like these shitty action movies, like these 80s low budget action movies. But I mean, it's got to make up for the bad script with some like really badass action. And this just doesn't have that, which is unfortunate. For all these years, I kept reading how this was like a showcase for stunts. And while, like I said, there is some fun stunts and car crashes here, but there just wasn't enough of it because in between a couple of those fun stunts, it's just boring and badly acted, and just I wanted more from something called Action USA. Like I give me a fucking Operation Delta Force or something, you know? I mean, I don't even like Chuck Norris movies, and I just would rather watch Operation Delta Force or just any of those over this. So yeah, just not my favorite, but I mean, I've seen way worse when it comes to movies like this. So.
Okay. Gregory Scott Cummins, by the way, has a recurring guest spot in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and he is excellent. He is excellent in that show. Just he must have, developed his talents over time, or maybe he's just better suited to like a comedic role. But he's very good as Mac's dad in
Yeah, he's Max.
It's
I
Always
was
Sunny
going
in
to say.
I
Philadelphia.
never did watch that show. I have to watch that.
You've never seen Always.
You'd
Dude,
fucking love
why is
that
it?
show.
Why is it you just like go out of your way to make us sad sometimes?
First
Or
10
actually,
seasons are amazing. Yeah, this was a first time watch for me. I'd only really known it by reputation for a long time, probably about 10 years. And what I had come to expect, like Tyler, was like wall to wall action, which obviously I didn't get. Like all the best shit, which is people dangling and free falling from fucking helicopters and screaming men like driving motorcycles off of bridges whilst they're on fire. That stuff is very cool, but it very much bookends the film. And there are pockets of action throughout, but also there's a lot of downtime. So I was a little disappointed in that respect. I wanted to be the guy in the Maxwell tapes ad, like pinned into my seat by ceaseless mind blowing action, and that didn't happen. But fortunately, like you guys know me, I can usually find stuff to enjoy from usually from regional horror films, but this regional action film, I can usually find stuff that amuses me in the downtime, and I did here. Like, it's hard to say how much of it I enjoyed ironically versus unironically, because I'm not sure. I'm not sure how far this production had their tongues in their cheeks, but I enjoyed it either way, so it doesn't matter. Like, okay, the leads, the two Lethal Weapon cosplaying cops and their female ward, I thought they were solid enough. They're fine. Like, their acting varies in quality, but they're an amiable little trio, and I liked them. But it's really about the villains. Like, all the villain actors are wonderful. Like Cameron Mitchell, looking like the love child of Tony Curtis and future Biff Tannen. He's wonderful. He has like two scenes in the whole film where he refuses to either stand up or fully dress himself, which I respect. No one can make you stand up or dress yourself if you don't want to. I like William Smith. He's just gruff. He's just the gruffest guy ever. Like, gruff and incoherent as always. So I enjoyed him. Ross Hagen as Drago. You guys know me. I can't resist a film with a villain named Drago. There's a Drago in Night Beast. I love a Drago. Him and Hoke Howell are where the gold is in this film for me. They're just chewing scenery and completely, like, obviously improvising these nonsense conversations about prison time and country music and how much they love their mothers. And I really enjoyed it. They just had the best chemistry. Like, you could tell they got on set. They bounced off each other so well. Like, I call them Tarantinoisms, even though, this sort of thing existed before Tarantino. I just love when bad guys just talk shit in films, like completely unconnected to the plot, just shooting the shit. I love that, and that's what I love that about this. I loved how frequently people are kidnapped in this movie. Jesus Christ, like, the three protagonists are all kidnapped at least once during the runtime, and individually. There's no group kidnappings. Each one of them is individually kidnapped at least once, and the female protagonist two or maybe three times. Like, that's how the film kind of figuratively and literally keeps its wheels spinning between the opening stunts and the closing stunts. And it's too silly for me to be mad about it. Just constantly kidnapping people is funny to me. I don't know. Um, I loved that this entire dumb movie is about retrieving some diamonds and not something interesting like revenge or serious like, terrorism or an assassination plot. It's so stupid. Like, you're essentially stopping an old man from getting some rocks, and like so many lives are lost and destroyed in the process. It's so wildly unimportant because it's about diamonds. I mean, okay, that it's about some valuable property, kind of, being the film's MacGuffin is kind of on point as to, the sort of stuff the police chase. But, I don't think they were going for that line of satire. But, I just love, it's just who gives a fuck about diamonds? Like, why is there all this destruction over some fucking diamonds? Just pocket a couple, give the rest to, uh, to the bad guy. Who gives a fuck? They go home with a pocket full of them anyway. Just so stupid. I admit the script isn't great, but I love pretty much every line out of Drago's mouth. Some of them written, I thought you were dead. They don't make a bullet big enough. Love it. It's just such macho bullshit. And there's such a really good. There are some that are so clearly improvised. Like, God damn it, that had nails in it, you goddamn twat. Was just a beautiful piece of improvised dialogue. Like, I love everything Drago. Drago is spoken of in hushed tones for the whole of the first act, only to turn up and just be an absolutely fucking useless middle-aged fool who can't kill anyone. It's. I loved a lot of stuff about this dumb movie. I mean, the heroically dumb stunts are the highlight, though. Like, if you made a graph, like on point X is like maximum commercial potential of the movie, and on point Y it's like the possibility of dying screaming. It just has to be the dumbest, most reckless movie ever made. Like, why would you die to make this? Why would you risk death for this stupid fucking film? And you know what? I admire that. I admire risking it all for the dumbest possible shit, because That's what I wanted to do after we watched Stunt Rock last week. I wanted to give stunt people their flowers for just being absolute fucking solid gold maniacs, and when they get the opportunity in this film, they are some solid gold maniacs. But I like the rest of the stuff as well because like I said, I like regional horror, and now it turns out I like cheap regional action films as well, and I'll probably find some more and make you watch them. I'm sorry, but yeah, I had fun with it. I'm an idiot.
This was this film was mostly forgotten. It's one of the ones that the Alamo rediscovered in 2020.
Okay.
This is no Miami Connection.
Oh no,
which
no,
is
of course not.
why my choice for the week, because you got to pick one, is Gerda.
It's Gerda for me too. God damn it! Like I enjoyed Action USA, but Gerda was a genuinely good film. Whereas my reasons for liking Action USA have very little to do with it being good.
Yeah, it should be no surprise for me, but yeah, Gerda.
That should be no
You get
surprise
to
for me.
spoil that sweet now.
I'm
Spoil that
denying
sweet.
Tyler the sweep. Indeed. Yep. It is Action USA all the way, baby. USA. USA.
I'm glad someone else enjoyed it.
I can't believe Craig's the one that made me cry. It's usually the other way around. Next week, Craig will not be joining us, but our good friend Anna will be. And we will all be watching the first half of the final season of Stranger Things because tradition. Until then, Tyler's going to give you the business. Oh, wait, no. And we're ending the month with Secret Satan. We should mention that. We don't have that many weeks until it starts. I will share mine. My Secret Satan pick was I'm pretty sure I know who gave it to me. Is Fun in Balloon Land, a little film I have actually seen before and thought I'd never have to see again. At least
that
I won't
sounds
be the only
fun.
one crying. Now, T, if you could give him the business.
Fun in Balloon Land. I'm guessing that's not about women that pop balloons like a fetish, right? Because that was the only thing that would make that interesting. So
Oh,
just
no, you are going to suffer so bad at the end of this month, Tyler, and I'm sorry.
it's okay. It's all right. I know my pick. So, I guess mine could be worse, but you guys will see shortly, I guess. We're on Instagram, Raiders_of_the_podcast. We're on Facebook, where I sometimes remember to post stuff on Wednesdays, most of the time Friday after I hit stop on record here. We have a YouTube channel where you can like, subscribe, and comment and watch Kevin's awesome videos. We have a Discord, we have a Blue Sky, and you can always email us at raidersofthepodcast@gmail.com.
Woo!
As always, thanks for listening. Thanks for joining me, guys. I'll talk to 3 of you next week.
Enjoy Stranger Things, guys.
And keep us at that vital number 2 spot, Mike. Keep us there. Don't abandon us.
Yeah, we don't mind being second place.
That's
Silver's fine.
Guys, have a little self-respect.
I mean, we'd be happy with bronze in a few lists, to be honest.
I'll talk to you next week.
See ya.
Bye.